Greetings, Claire nerds. Let's talk about reeds and how to make your reed sound the best that you can make it sound. So first things first, hopefully you're playing on something at this point, something better than a 2.5, maybe something a little stronger, three and a half. That's going to be your first key at sounding great on a reed. Is get a nice hearty, strong reed sound. Um, I like to play on Van Doren's. I said that in my last read videos. I'm by no means sponsored by them or anything. That's just what I like. Lavaz is great. Mitchell Lorry, like whatever you play on is whatever you play on. Whatever you like is whatever you like. I just like Van Doren's. So Van Doren's come in a box of 10. And out of a box of 10, I might get say 5, maybe 6 reads at best. The rest are just too far gone to make anything sound great with them. So first thing I do is I hold them up to the light and I look and I see what I'm looking for is and I've drawn this crudely on here, the shape of the heart of the reed. This should be, this is the inner kind of triangle-ish thing here. This should be uniform. It should be not super long, not super short. It should just be a nice, I don't really know how to describe it, just a nice angle. And the sides, where it comes down to the uncut part of the reed, should not, it should, I mean, there's a little bit of the light won't come through at the bottom of the reed, but it shouldn't, like, it shouldn't go, it shouldn't look like that. Where I'm drawing the lines, it should come down mostly straight, if that makes sense. It should be mostly almost parallel to the sides of the reed a little bit. So you do that all by looking at the light, and then as you're looking at it, you can kind of see the grain of the reed. If there are, you should be mostly uniform as you go through. There might be like one dark spot at like the very tip of the reed. It's probably not going to be a super great reed because that part of the reed is going to vibrate differently than the rest of the reed. So just something to keep in mind. So next thing you'll need a blank piece of copy paper. This is just plain old copy paper, and I put it down on my desk here and make sure that there's nothing else underneath it. No crumbs, no dog hairs, nothing, and nothing on top of the paper even. So blank, clean sheet of copy paper, glass of water, mug of water, some container of water. So after you've selected your reeds based on looking at the heart and everything of that, dip it in the glass of water. What we're doing here is we're opening up the pores of the reed. Reeds are made of fibers, and those fibers are hollow, kind of like a straw. And you want to open up those fibers a little bit so that we can seal them completely closed. So dip in the water, and you shake off all the excess water. I like to also wipe it on my pants or shirt or some sort of cloth to get the excess water off. And then we put it on the paper here. And then what you do is you just start rubbing it over the paper. And what this is doing, the paper is acting like a super fine grit sandpaper. Even like 6,000 grit, or if there's 8,000, I think is the highest grit. There might be higher ones. I'm not super versed in sandpaper, but even like the finest grit sandpaper is going to be too rough. It's going to start taking off material off of the reed. So the paper is what's going to be your best bet. So you rub that all over the place, and every once in a while hold it up to flat to the light, and you kind of, what you're looking for is a nice sheen on, like a shine on the reed. And if you don't see it uniformly across the reed, then keep rubbing. You rub all the time. This is a long process. And look back up to the light, and should feel smooth also to the touch. So then after you've done that, then you can put it on your clarinet, play it, and it should sound great. and it should sound great for the long time because the fibers are closed, and so your saliva, the enzymes and whatever that breaks down your food, if you don't close those fibers, it's going to get inside there and start breaking down the reed. That's what enzymes are supposed to do. So uh, that's the super easy way to make sure all your reeds sound great out of the box. Then, if you want to make them sound better, you can either get some fine grit sandpaper, like 2000 grit sandpaper, or Van Doren. Again, I'm not sponsored by Van Doren by any means. It's just they make a really easy kit that has a little glass sandpaper and a little tool that you can resurface your reeds with and get out all the imperfections. This tool is great. It's actually rough on the side. It's really fine, but it's rough. If the heart of the reed is not uniform, this can actually shave off some of the material, and you can actually make it more uniform. So I think this reed resurfacing kit is worth its money because you'll get an extra. It'll get you an extra reed, maybe 2, out of a box of reeds. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that gives you some tricks. And I'm sorry this video is a little bit longer. It's a long process even still, and this is glossed over a little bit. But I would do that with an entire box of reeds before I even put them on my clarinet to start playing. Hope you enjoyed it. Happy clarinetting.